Take two. Hopefully we get a better signal. Give everybody just a second to come in. Hopefully we get this working here. Not exactly sure why my signal was so bad. That should be a little bit better. All right, we'll give a couple minutes for people to come back in and we'll kind of restart this. I apologize for the technical issues. Hey, Steve, looking for silver. Let's have a few more people come in and then I'll kind of resume where we left off. There was something about where I was at. I just wasn't getting a signal at all down there. So I went ahead and moved up to my my lounge room. So I'll give just a second. So again, we're just talking about the update with Tiger. Did you catch anything of what was going on before, Steve? It was pretty choppy, so a lot of people probably didn't hear a lot of what I was trying to say. A couple of people were saying that the stream was frozen. So hopefully this one's a little bit better. I'll give people just a couple of seconds to filter in. It's going to take everybody just a second to come in. All right. See some more people coming back in. All right. So again, just kind of as an update, on Thursday. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So thanks. Thanks, Show Me. Again, just to kind of reiterate where we were going. On Thursday, talked to Tiger, and he didn't sound very good. He was having some issues. Same kind of lethargic. Him and I were on the phone. He got off the phone. Found out he was actually supposed to be at work. Didn't realize what day it was got called into work. Anyway, he went into work, hurried up, showered, got cleaned up, went into work, and while he was walking in, he felt a little bit lethargic. And so he sat down in a wheelchair and they're at the hospital, and somebody came over and I was like, "Are you okay?" And the response basically was, "No, I'm not okay." So they took him, looked at him, kept him under observation for a little while, and they were doing a shift change. And as the shift change occurred, he started to kind of really understand what was going on, and it ended up being cellulitis. Now, for those of you who know what cellulitis is, as I said just a second ago, cellulitis can hide itself, it can mask itself for quite a while, and if it doesn't get taken care of in a timely fashion, then it can turn pretty bad. Well, that's what happened. So what actually happened was when he was in there, the attending physician, he told him, he says, "I believe this is cellulitis, starting to have some of the symptoms. I'm feeling the same way." And within minutes of doing this, they started to do some blood work and actually found out, yeah, it is an infection. Actually found out that Tiger was going septic. And so they obviously admitted him into to the hospital, put him in intensive care, and started going through the treatment for basically like septicemia, right? Making sure that they were taking care of it, monitoring these items, trying to get this cellulitis situation under control. Now, for those of you that aren't fully aware of Tiger's situation, I'm located in San Antonio, Texas. He's working right now in New Mexico, but his wife is in West Virginia. That's where they live. And so it's been extremely difficult to try and manage. Now, I didn't know what was going on because when he started feeling this way, being a little bit lethargic and not kind of all together, when he was getting stuff together, he didn't take his cell phone to work. He didn't take his watch to work. He didn't take his chargers to work. So he had no way to communicate with anybody. The only telephone number of the person that he had was his wife. Unfortunately, his wife didn't have a lot of contact within the community to be able to get information out. Now, many of you know that I'm great friends with Tiger. I talk to Tiger almost every day, where we're talking about YouTube strategies, looking at coin collecting, working at art stuff, talking about Bifrost's art, talking about IT issues, whatever it is. We talk different medical cases and things of that nature, not specific to anything, but just general medicine. So we talk almost every day. And to not hear from him for 2 days was like, there's definitely something going on. So I've reached out to a couple people, tried to find out what was going on. And then today, and I had kind of been in contact with his wife, but was never able to really connect with her. Today, she came into the stream, and during my morning stream, let everybody know that Tyker was in the ICU. So I want to give you a little bit of information about what's happened today, kind of where we're at, where we're going as far as moving forward, and kind of a call to action for you all. So Tiger is in New Mexico. He is in intensive care. He's been there for a day and 2.5 days already. They're going to keep him at least for another day. Anything for him right now is very difficult. I'm working with the hospital staff as well as the hotel staff to try to get him some of his personal effects. Trying to get a courier from the hotel to the hospital to try to make sure that we get his phone, his watch, his charging equipment, so he at least can stay in touch with people like his boss, his wife, and things of that nature on something that he's familiar with. So I'm working with them. I'm not exactly sure what's happening yet. We're waiting for the managerial staff to reach back. But we're trying to do that to where we can get people to where Tiger can get back in contact with people. But there's a couple things that I'm going to ask you guys to do. Number one, this hit him pretty hard, pretty fast. And Tiger's all about trying to provide and do stuff for the community. I'm going to ask each one of you to go to his community page and please make sure that you reach out and say, hey, thinking about you, praying for you, heard about what's going on. Please make sure that you are, just telling, your thoughts are with him. Tiger's worried about producing information for you guys. He's worried about getting information out. Please remind him that you'll be there when he's back, okay? It's very important to know that a community stands beside you. We had a good friend in our community who just had back surgery, and one of the things that she said really carried her through was that she received cards and things of that nature. When this is done, in the description, I'm going to put Tiger's P.O. box. Please send him a letter of thank you, or just that you're thinking about him. If you have his email, it's thetigerstacker@gmail.com. Please do me a favor, send him an email, tell him you're praying for him, tell him you're thinking about him. Don't ask him a ton of questions. Just make sure that he's aware that you care and think about him. I am talking with his wife. I've already reached out. Yankee reached out to me. So Yankee and I have talked. I've talked to a couple of his other friends. So they know what's going on. As already stated, I've been in touch with Tiger himself. He is good. He was very, very happy to hear that we were able to get a hold of him and know what's going on. Yoxnav, Tiger's in the hospital. He's in ICU. Just providing kind of general information. For those that missed the first part of it, Tiger had basically an infection in his blood. It ended up going septic. And so it's a pretty significant thing. So they put him into the ICU and they're monitoring him. He is doing good. When I talked to him, he sounded very tired, but he was very happy. He was like, Frosty, oh, it's good to hear you. And I'm like, hey, dude, are you okay? We're worried about you. But I already reached out. Like I said, I've already reached out to the hotel, asked them if they could get these effects. I told them I would pay for a courier to get it from there to the hospital. Told the hospital that if I needed to work with his wife and get stuff done for releases of information to get that stuff taken care of. He's got some equipment when he does his videos and stuff. I've already got the staff worked with some of those people. So again, working with that team, they're at the hospital or they're at the hotel to make sure that his effects are taken care of. He's got some things there that, like for when he streams his computer and stuff. So trying to make sure those things are taken care of, locked up, put away. Trying to get him his personal effects at the hospital so he can communicate. And then talking with his wife and making sure things are cool. And as she hears information from the doctor, she'll provide me updates, or Tiger will provide me updates. But really trying to provide a just good, solid basis and connection for people to give information, kind of know where you're at. So as I get information, I will be sharing it with you all. I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of kind of what was happening. The information this morning kind of dropped hard. So his wife is in West Virginia and he is in New Mexico. So for those of you who don't know what Tiger does, Tiger is a traveling physician. He works in the ER. And so he is actually in, yeah. And that's the really hard part. That's one of the problems in looking at situations like not hearing from Tiger for 2 days is pretty unusual for me. But, you know, if you send him a text message or something, he's really quick to respond. And it was crickets, not even a read receipt on his information. So we knew something was wrong, but I had no way to get in contact with his wife. There was like no support structure for him being gone. And so I've worked with Tiger. Like I said, I've already talked with Yankee. I've got Yankee's information. I've got his wife's information. So we're building a little network to make sure Tiger's taken care of. Make sure people are constantly being able to communicate with him, making sure we share information between the 3 or 4 of us. And then again, to kind of act as a general spokesperson for him and his wife to let you know where he's at, what's going on, how things are going. But just for the people that have come in late, Tiger's doing okay. His spirits are good. He's very tired. If you've never had to deal with septic issues, it's extremely, extremely hard. So Neil, the major problem from this is diabetes. And one of the issues, and Tiger and I gave him a very nice ass chewing and said, look, when you're done with this, like when you get back, we're going to talk about diet. We're going to talk about exercise. We're going to talk about how much you're on YouTube. I'm going to be a friend. I'm going to be a pain in his ass because he needs to be able to control some of these things. And so it's really important. Yeah, Paula, that is fact. And so just, I really consider Tiger a really good, solid friend of mine. And so I really want to make sure that we're standing beside Tiger. But when Ida was going through her back surgery, the one thing she said a number of times was that the thing that really carried her was getting those cards, getting those emails, making sure that seeing people were responding to her and really asking for information on how she was doing and being kind and telling them how much we loved her and stuff like that. So what I am going to do is I'm going to talk to Tiger about getting access to his site, and I might run a stream, and I might be calling on a couple of you to kind of join me on stream to talk about things like maybe silver price or maybe stock price. I might pull in a couple other people and ask somebody like Yankee to jump up for 3 or 4 minutes, or ask some other stackers, maybe get Mad Stacker and some of these other people to come in and talk and just provide some content on his channel while he's out to really help him understand that us as a community are pulling together to be beside him. Again, when you talk about this community, we talked about this morning in the live stream. When you talk about this community has done a number of great things for people. And it's this community that has really allowed me to connect with a few people who I truly and genuinely call friend. Paula, Paula and I talked about this. She talked about a little bit about her story this morning in the stream and what has happened and what's gone on in her life and how this community has helped. And Tiger has found a couple of friends here. And he told me today, kind of in a semi-emotional moment, not like he was crying to Frosty, but he was like, dude, you're truly a good friend. And he's like, I really haven't had too many of those in my life. And so I want to make sure that there are people, Sassy, yeah, let me know. He's not in Albuquerque. He's a couple hours away, but I don't want to give too much information. Okay, I've got to be very careful about doing that. But what I want Tiger to do is I want Tiger to understand that it's just not Frosty looking out for him. It's not just Yankee looking out for him, that it's actually the community that actually cares about him and wants to come alongside. So I'm going to look at a couple of times. I'm going to be sending some people out some information. Many of you in the streams are probably going to get something from me, asking for 10, 20, 15 minutes of your time just to say hi, how you doing? Like I said, go to his community page, go hit up a couple videos and just say, hey, Tiger, heard you were in the hospital. Love you. Thinking about you. Hope all is going good. Um, I was sitting outside and then I came back in. And then the place that I came back in, yeah, I really don't need these. I'm trying to look cool and see at the same time. But no, it really is important that we come alongside Tiger in this time. Again, for the people coming in late, Tiger's in the ICU. He had an issue where cellulitis actually ended up turning septic. And so he's getting help. He's getting the help that he needs. He's getting the medical care he needs. Now, from my background, I've looked up the hospital that he's in, looked up some of their care, their infection rates, and things of that nature, and he's in a good hospital. And so that was one of my things. I wanted to see, is he in good care? And the place that he's in actually has a really good rating. Looked at different things like reports from the Joint Commission and things of that nature. And he actually is in a very good hospital. So that made me feel really good. But I just wanted to give everybody an update, kind of let everybody know where he is, what's going on. I'm not going to relay any more information at this time. I just wanted to make sure that you guys all got the update, put something out there so that, because again, it's too hard for me to send a text message to one person, then an email to somebody else, and then stuff starts to feed like wildfire. And I wanted to make sure that I kept the rumor mill down to a minimum. I briefed everybody at the same time so they know exactly what's happening. And this is something else for his wife. If you have any questions specifically for her, do you need anything? Is there stuff that you can do? The comments here is the best place to reach her. I'll let her know. And so if you want nice things to say about her, you go check out her site, tell her, hey, we love you, we're supporting you. If there's anything you need, prayers abound. And again, folks, I don't care what your religious preference is, prayers work. And so please offer the prayers up for Tiger and his family during this time frame. It's hard to do this when you're close to your loved ones, but when you are separated by thousands of miles, it's very, very difficult because you feel utterly and totally helpless. So I just want to make sure that you guys were aware of what's going on. I'm not going to keep you all any longer. There's tons of people streaming, lots of fun stuff going on. Please just do me a favor, take a few moments, reach out, let everybody know what's going on, and please just reach out to him and say, love you, be well, take care of yourself, eat good, damn it. Right? Get out there, go for a little bit of a walk. Worry less about streaming at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. We will be here when you get back. And so just make sure you send him the well wishes and let him know that we're here for him. All right? All right, folks. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for letting me take a couple minutes of your day to provide an update on our friend Tiger Stacker. And again, as I get more information, as I find things out about the release, kind of what the status of the infection is, how he's doing when he goes out of ICU into just a normal admitted bed, I will relay information to you, let you update. And if I talk to his wife and she has any cares or concerns, I'll also provide you guys updates. Watch this stream right here. Look in the chat. This is where all my updates are going to go, or in my community page. So look for those two areas, and that's where I'll provide all of my sources. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly, but please go to those two areas. That's where the key information is going to be. All right? All right. Take care of yourselves. Love you. Be well, be blessed, and I'll see you in the streams. Take care, folks.